Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquitacatica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Sammy, levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today I want to talk about something that I think we all missed because we've been on this high of this win. A win that showed that this team can actually win and play a cohesive game, but there was a nugget that Ron Rivera dropped on us that I think that all of us missed and actually paid no attention to. And I have to find out this. I need somebody or something to be asked. I need this question to be asked. And that question is, who is the guy behind the curtain? Because the reason I'm bringing this up is because Ron, we all saw the ending of that game. And all of us were confused about the fact of Ron Rivera going for the kneel down instead of just kicking the extra point. And he said that the analytics guy had told him to do that. Now, I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but for me, this is something that is very concerning because it's like, one, who is this analytics guy? And two, what type of power in play calling does he have? Because that to me worries me in the sense that what is this guy's motivation? And two, is it something where a controversy could erupt? Now, I understand that, again, like I said, we're all still high on this game win, on this win and stuff like that. But again, I go back to how much does this guy have to do in this? You know, because, again, it just seems like if this is the analytics guy that Ron Rivera is listening to, the guy sounds like a guy that is not a risk taker or not even a football mind. You know, like that worries me because, again, you're talking about who is this guy? You know, like not only that, how much does his analytics come into play with so many of the crazy things that we've seen go on this season? Like, did the analytics guy come into play when it came to the Dwayne Haskins benching? Did the analytics guy come into play when it came to the Kyle Allen benching or Kyle Allen getting hurt and not going back to him? The Taylor Heineke stuff, the inconsistent Scott Turner play calling, the lack of Jack Del Rio calling up blitzing. Like, how much does this guy really play into this? Because to me, again, this isn't a guy just suggesting something. That particular play at the end of the game was a play call. That for me is a problem because I don't understand what his analytics are that would make him say, let's kneel right here versus kicking the extra point. And that if his analytics is something like it, are we dealing with the most nervous analytics guy that we could ever imagine? Like, is this guy just sitting up there like, oh my God, no, let's look, there's a 0.5% chance that the extra point could be blocked and they can run it back for a touchdown. Oh my God. You know, is that really what we're dealing with? Oh my God, it's 2nd and 4, and I understand that Antonio Gibson has had a 5-yard average, but we need to pass the ball right here, right now. oh my God, Aaron Rodgers could actually throw a touchdown. There's a 25% chance that Aaron Rodgers can throw a touchdown if Jack Del Rio blitzes. Oh my God. Are we really dealing with that type of analytics guy? Or is this, again, I'm not understanding what his role is in regards to some of the play calling. And how far into the play calling does his analytics come into play? I mean, because Ron said that the guy was in his ear, like the Wizard of Oz type of situation. Don't pay attention to the guy behind the curtain. I am the great and powerful Oz. I am the great and powerful Ron. Don't pay attention to the guy behind the curtain. Like, what is that? Because again, if all of us as fans watched that game and was confused about why you would kneel down instead of just kicking the extra point, that made no sense. And the fact that you're saying the analytics guy basically made the call, because that's a play call. That's not something where he suggested it and you said he suggested it. No, you went with it, which means that he's making play calls. So how much of his analytic ability is being involved in play calling? Because if that's the case, I'm a little disconcerted. I'm a little concerned about that. Also, how much of his analytics is going involved in talent acquisition? Did his analytics come into play to sign a guy like Chris Blewett because he just has a strong leg but didn't account for his accuracy? Or how about the fact that you was with Chris Blewett and then all of a sudden wasn't with Chris Blewett? How much of his analytics came into play with that? Because guess what? Football minds, people who play football would have just been like, hey, look, check this. This guy's missing and his kicks are being blocked. His trajectory is off. We don't need an analytics guy to tell us that, because guess what? That's something we can see. And like I said, the other thing is this analytics or is this something that could bring on controversy? Because at the end of the day, we did beat the point spread. And we got the point spread on the nose. 10 points. If we'd have kicked the extra point, it would have been 1 point over the point spread. That worries me. Because I need to know who that guy behind the curtain is, because of the fact that that guy behind the curtain could be something that is causing us to lose, that is causing us the problems. Because again, we're talking about how much did his analytics come into play in the Kansas City game, a game we could have won. How much of his analytics came into play in the New Orleans game, another game we could have won. How much of his analytics came into play in the Denver game, another game we could have won. Hey, let's talk about the Chargers. Did analytics come into play in that game? I mean, there are situations and things that you sit up there and see and say, how much of his analytics is coming into play when it's dealing with our team? And why is Ron Rivera so adamant on depending on this and not using his football mind to sit up there and deal with this? Now, again, like I said, I didn't want to come up with this stuff, but what I've realized is that Ron Rivera drops nuggets for us all the time. And this nugget was one I was not expecting, especially coming off of a win. And I'm going to have to be honest with you. I hope and pray that this analytics guy is actually an analytics guy and not our de facto offensive coordinator, not our de facto defensive coordinator, or he's getting in the way of Scott Turner calling better games, or he's getting in the way of Jack Del Rio calling better defenses, or he's getting in the way of signing players that should be signed here. Because again, for all of us who've seen the movie Moneyball or paid attention to the analytics ability that the Oakland Athletics did during that time period, everybody has to remember, guess what happened? They lost. They lost. Not only were they successful with analytics, they lost the big game due to analytics. And my concern here is that if this guy is so involved in that, how far is his reach? And like I said again, the controversy part is what worries me just as much. Because again, I hope that he was just reading off of an analytic chart and he wasn't doing something to make sure that he's getting the spread. And it becomes something that becomes a bigger controversy down the line. Because again, the one thing that is the same thing about this culture of this team is that controversy is never far away. And Ron, either you let us know who this analytics guy is, or you never bring him up again. Because the last thing we need is more of the culture that we're used to. And that's controversy, controversy, controversy. This has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.
The great Oz has spoken. Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great Oz has spoken.
Who are you?
Oh, I am the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
You are? I don't believe you.
No, I'm afraid it's true. There's no other wizard except me.